Let's go. Welcome back into the trade room, and I'm going to do a little bit of a trial review from a Supercoach scoring perspective. So we've pretty much just finished our first full weekend of trials. Also, we've had 4 teams just finish their second trial. Few teams, quite a lot of teams actually played full strength teams for at least the first half, if not close to 60, 70 minutes, like what the Bulldogs we saw on the weekend. So quite interesting to see what the actual output was of, a few key players that a lot of super coaches are looking to head towards heading to round 1 of the season, which is just 2 weeks away. So I've got a whole list of scores and stats in front of me. I'm just going to share them with you all, and just go through some of the key players that a lot of super coaches are looking. I'm not going to go through every player because obviously a lot of them are reserve graders. A lot of them we are, pretty irrelevant, that sort of thing. Shout out Jalen DeGroot. But a few of them, like your Cooper Byers, I've just got like the Dolphins, Titans ones in front of me at the moment. But a couple of ones like your Cooper Byers, Tom Flegler's, will just be interesting to see how they have looked heading into round 1, their sort of output that we've got from round 1. But further ado, let's get started with the Dolphins and Titans game. So what I'm going to start with is, let's just start with a guy like Tom Gilbert. So Tom Gilbert scored 44, had 30 tackles for the game, a couple missed tackles as well, which I think is very solid, but no tries, no assists at all. Did have like a offload in there as well, had a couple good runs. You got 45 pretty much in base and power, and obviously had that 1 missed tackle. So I'm not sure how many minutes these guys played. Sorry guys, but if you want, go have a look. But going by from what I saw in that game, I'd probably say Tom Gilbert, these guys probably would have played around 40, like 50, 60 minutes kind of thing. If I obviously saw them go off at a certain stage, I will try and let you know as best as I can, but it's obviously pretty hard to go and keep track, and I don't think they have it on NRL.com. Next one I think is interesting. He did score a try, but this Mo Fodawaker was 66 there. Did score a try, as I said, had 8 tackles in there. We have a look at his base and power. It is one big screen. I wonder if I can zoom out on this. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Pretty sick. So Mo Fodawaker had just 25 in base, so 39 in base and power, which is pretty solid. But he's a guy that's really going to step up for the Titans heading into this year. Obviously, you've got Tina up front as well. Not a lot of people are looking at Mo Fodawaker, but could be an interesting option. The main one here that we're going to look at is Cooper Bye. Now, as I said, I don't know how many minutes Cooper Bye played. You can definitely let me know down in the comments, but thought Cooper Bye was pretty solid. Scored 39 Supercoach points in the game in the minutes that he did play. 21 tackles in there. Had 2 missed tackles, 2 tackle breaks in there. Went for about 8 runs, but it looks at there. 39 in base and power there. So pretty much all base and power in that 39. So was he 230k, I believe, Cooper Bye. So looking like a pretty good buy to start the season there. Tom Flegler, 60 points, obviously scored a try on his return. He's about 340k, coming off a 2-year spell, 10 tackles in there, obviously scored the try, 4 tackle breaks. Had an offload in there as well, and obviously a line break for that try as well. Had a few runs. I think he only literally played like 20 to 30 minutes, and 33 in base and power, so not all bad from Tom Flegler. Bit of an interesting one with Tom Flegler, though, because he's a guy I think will probably settle into the season. He's obviously not going to score a try every week. He'd probably be lucky to score 5, honestly, in the year. So you can't really count on him scoring tries that often, but still definitely interesting to, I guess, have a look at. Obviously, it's handy if he does score a try, but as I said, would not be counting on it whatsoever. Just scrolling down there, here we go. Selwyn Cobbo, guy who's been talked about quite a bit. Again, do not know how long Selwyn Cobbo played. I think he just played the first half. He looked okay. He scored 33, 5 tackles in there, 4 tackle breaks, 5 runs under 8 meters, 2 runs over 8 meters. Base and power was 25 for that 33 there. So not too bad. He's priced at about sort of 520k, so about a 52 average. So put that into an 80-minute game. He's probably scoring above about that 60 range, which is what you probably want to see without a try there. Jermaine Osako, 25 there. Not too bad. A guy hasn't really been too highly considered. That was all in base and power as well. I don't think he goal kicked, which is a bit unusual. Just scrolling down the list there. Izzy Katoa, 17. Again, I think he just played the first half there. Only there was really 15 tackles from there, so didn't really do a whole lot on the attacking side of things. The Dolphins did not score. I don't think they scored in the first half, so he only played the first half, but they're pretty bloody ordinary in the first half as well from what I saw. And just going down the list, there's not really too many other names that are really sort of sticking out in that one there. All right, I head over to Canberra and Melbourne. By the way, I just want to give a massive shout out to Aman Talks NRL Supercoach. This is all come from him. Massive shout out. If you're not in his Patreon, make sure you go get in his Patreon. He'll post this sort of stuff. Being super helpful. So this is what I'm going off. I'm not going to show it on my screen. I just don't want to sort of give away any of the hard work he's done. Obviously, he gives that out to subscribers that obviously pay money to him every single week. So I do respect that. Obviously, with the Melbourne side, we did see a lot of sort of reserves play in this one here. Same with the Raiders, but there were sort of few key notables. Trent Leero, despite his 2-game suspension at the start of the season, did actually play in this one, did score 49. Again, don't know how many minutes he played. 36 tackles, 3 missed tackles in there. Had 7 runs under 8 meters, 2 runs over 8 meters for base of 49. And base and power was 49 there as well. Another guy that's really just come up interesting, and he's kind of just sort of fit into my team now, and that is going to be Jack Hetherington. Scored 49 here, 26 tackles. I think he only literally played 20 to 30 minutes. 3 missed tackles, 1 tackle break there. Had 8 runs under 8 meters there. Had a line break assist there as well. Did 41 in base and power. So very impressive performance by Jack Hetherington in the short time that he played. And I completely overlooked this guy, but Artivali Lasati, a cheapie that everyone is pretty much looking at to start the season at 2RF. A guy that will be replacing, we think, Eli Katoa for the season here. 58 points. Again, I think he honestly just played the first 30, maybe in the first half. 41 tackles in there. And the big one I want to take from this is I did see a stat. Obviously, we're going off NRL stats now instead of Fox Sports. He had 41 tackles on NRL and 27 on Fox Sports. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. 14-point difference in one half, which is massive. 2 missed tackles, 1 tackle break there. He had 1 offload in there as well. 7 runs under 8 meters, 1 over 8 meters for 58 in base and power. Very, very impressive game by Lasati there. Who I'll most likely pretty much be starting. It's hard to not start without him there. Tamale got 33 there, only made a few tackles there. Base and power just going across. I think he got 33 in base and power as well, so pretty solid from Tamale. Matty Nicholson got 33 as well, 23 tackles in there. Again, pretty much all in base and power there for Matty Nicholson there. Just scrolling through, see, only Finau was the standout in this one. So was Seb Chris, 88 from Finau and 83 from Seb Chris. Miles Martin, 26. I'm not sure he might feature in the 6-man bench now. All right. Who else have we got in this game? Oh, and Paddy, 17. I don't think too many are going to be selecting him. Just going through. Nothing really too much to note there. All right, this one's going to be interesting. So these are the Cowboys and Panthers scores. Now, I'm really pretty much just going to go through the the Cowboys scores. They pretty much the starting team all just played the first half, and they absolutely destroyed Penrith as well. 44-0 it was at halftime. They absolutely ran amok against pretty much a second-grade reserve team in Panthers, probably not even their best reserve grade side. So it was literally men against boys in this one. And I get it's just a trial, but it's freaking hard not to take anything from this trial from what we saw. Despite it being, as I said, literally men versus boys. Helium Lukey at the top of my list. 1 try in there. Once again, backing up his try from last week. 19 tackles. Would have just played the first half. 3 tackle breaks. 1 line break for his try. 9 runs under 8 meters. 3 runs over 8 meters. 2 penalties conceded. 1 error. 46 in base and power, which is very solid from one half. Again, he was playing against weak defense though, but a guy that's looking pretty bloody good now heading into the season, and a very viable Supercoach option, especially with the easy draw that's the Cowboys had to start this season. Reed Marnie, a hooker that has been highly talked about going to a new club. Big question mark for me with Reed Marnie. He did look very good in this game, but some minutes, I don't know how many minutes he's going to be playing. He did score 70 in this game. He did have 2 try assists, 18 tackles to go with that, 1 missed tackle, 1 tackle break. He had 1 offload, 2 line break assists to go with his 2 assists. Had a few runs in there as well, 28 in base and power. So as I said, 28 in base and power and 1/2 is not all bad at all for a hooker under the new rules. We know he'll make a bunch of tackles. Obviously had 2 assists as well. So, man, if you get 50 base and power out of Reed Marnie, I guess, in a game, he's probably going to be looking like a pretty sharp Supercoach option. Jake Clifford, 98, man. 2 tries, 2 assists, 9 tackles. He also kicked 2 goals as well. Had a couple tackle breaks in there. What is his base and power there? Just 25, but he absolutely lit it up for the Cowboys in this game. Once again, in the 7 role. Again, probably, I think they will be looking at Jackson Purdue in the left center role there for Vegas, and I think early on in the season there with Jake Clifford at 7. If they were looking at Purdue in the 6 role, I think they just would have put Dearden at 7 and Purdue at 6 in for this game. Honestly, you've got Chester there, you've got Vilea there, who could have filled that role easily. All right, going down the list, Scotty Drink Bolter, 112 points. Holy dooly, 1/2 a footy, 1 try, 2 assists. He kicked some goals as well, 2 tackles. He had 3 tackle breaks. He had 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 3 runs under 8 meters, 3 runs over 8 meters, 1 penalty conceded. He only had 17 base and power. However, we know with Drinky that what you're going to get with Drinky is a low base, but you're going to make it up in line breaks, line break assists, and also tries as well. That was a very good performance by Scott Drinkwater. Again, so hard not to take anything from that game because he's so freaking good. Jackson Purdue, 59 points, scored a try assist as well, had a try contribution as well, 7 tackles, looks very good on that left edge. Not a whole lot of base and power with Jackson Purdue there, just 16, but again, that try and a try assist will definitely do wonders there. Left center role there, if he's going to continue doing that, again, he's going to be a pretty good option to look at. And then the last one I think on this list will be Tommy Dearden, 51 points, had a try assist as well. 5 tackles, if you're looking to start him, potentially, I don't think he'll get dual now. In 1 tackle break, very low base and power, but a lot of these Cowboys had pretty low base and power, honestly, in this game, because they just tore it apart, really. They had a lot of possession, they weren't getting tackled much because just scoring, they're running right through the Panthers. All right, let's go to the Warriors and Manly game. And I forgot to mention as well, guys, I only do have the first 7 preseason games. I don't have the stats yet for the Sharks and Parramatta game. I am just literally recording this 5 minutes after the finish of the Sharks and Eels game, but I'll try and sort of recap as best as I can in regards to who I thought was pretty impressive in that game. Who I've got, Ali Leataua, who I think will be our left center to start the season. When I say our, I'm a Warriors fan. 63 points there, did score 2 tries. I didn't think he did a whole lot in this one. Had 29 base and power in this one there. Aaron Clark, 54 points. Again, I don't know how many minutes he played. He had 34 tackles though, 1 missed tackle, 1 tackle break. He had 1 offload, 1 offload go to ground. He had no line breaks, no line break assists, 5 runs under 8 meters, 3 runs over 8 meters, 54 base and power. So all base and power there for Aaron Clark. Again, looks like he'll just be solid as a rock option for the Wires this year and in Supercoach. Leka Halasima, I believe he just played the first half, 26 points, playing at left center as well. Sorry, that's Ali Leataua at right center, but Leka Halasima, 26 points there at the left center role, 13 tackles, which is not all bad. 2 missed, 4 tackle breaks because he's an absolute beast. He did have 30 base and power in that game there as well. Who we've got here? Dimitri Valmunga going to be off the bench. Probably not a good Supercoach option. All right, going down the list. No, nothing really sticking out for me there. I did think the Warriors are pretty poor in that game, expecting a whole lot better next week, hopefully. Tigers and the Roosters, not a whole lot of big Supercoach stars in this one. The main one, though, is Hamasi Makasini. He scored a hat-trick in this trial. I spoke about him in my last episode of the trade, which came out yesterday. And I put him as a B-grade cheapie because I just don't know what's his percentage of chance of playing round 2. When I say round 2, because I got the first round bye. It's a big, I think you're taking a bit of a risk, and if he doesn't get named there to start in round 2, you're left with just like, holy shit, now I've just got this cheapie CTW sitting there on your wing. Going to have to probably looking at playing other cheapie CTWs early on the season. However, if he does play, I think he's going to be an awesome, awesome option. And I kind of am, since this game, maybe leaning towards, obviously we've got one more trial game left to go with Tigers as well. Maybe he does get that start. Scoring a hat-trick was very impressive. 36 base and power as well in that game as well. Again, don't know how many minutes he played. I'd say about 50 or 60. Scored a hat-trick, 5 tackles, missed tackle, 5 tackle breaks, had an offload as well. 3 line breaks, which is for his 3 tries. Had a total of 9 runs. 6 of those were under 8 meters. 3 of those are over 8 meters, had 1 penalty conceded, 1 error, said 36 base and power, but 113 Supercoach points for Hamasi Makasini there on that right wing. By the way, I just want to give a shout out to, what was his name? Solomon Sakuru, who scored that try. Sorry, no, it wasn't. Was it? My bad. It was Latino Tavana, who scored that try on the left wing for the Tigers. Oh my goodness. One of the best put downs I've ever seen. All right, so let's go through again. I don't think there's going to be too many Supercoach relevant options from this game here. Egan Butcher, Rex Bathingweight, I'm keen to see in the future. Hugo Savala will be off the bench. Siwa Wong, 48 points. I looked at him early on in the season. 31 tackles, 4 missed tackles, 1 tackle break. 8 runs over under 8 meters, 3 runs over 8 meters, 48 in base and power there. So all base and power there for Siwa Wong, which is very good signs. He will only be playing, I'd say, the first 5 to 6 matches there in that right edge role there for the Roosters. And then I'm picking Radley will go and replace him. Unless Wong absolutely kills it and maybe they look at putting Watson on the bench and maybe putting Radley at 13. I'm not quite sure. But in regards to the rest of this game, I don't think there's there wasn't too many other options there. All right, Newcastle and the Doggies. And oh my goodness, I just want to say before I get into this, Newcastle was pretty bloody disappointing. Considering they set a record last year for the most scoreless first halves last year by any team ever. And then come out for the first ever game under Justin Holbrook. Dylan Brown at 6, pretty full strength, obviously without Fletcher Sharp and KP, and they get donuts in the first half. They did score, they end up scoring, I think, 1 try, which is pretty bloody disappointing though. Standouts in this game here, Greg Marzu, 66, didn't even score a try. He did have 1 run that would have been worth like literally 25 points. He had 3 tackles, 9 tackle breaks, like 3 of them were in 1 run. 2 offloads, 1 of them was in that run as well. 1 line break, which is that run. He had 12 runs under 8 meters, 5 runs over 8 meters there. 58 base and power for Greg Marzu there. I don't know how many minutes again he played. Again, Jermaine McEwen, a guy that a lot of people are starting, didn't play last week, and Thomas Cant looked pretty bloody good, I thought. So kind of cool the Jets on Jermaine McEwen, because if I want him, I want to know that he's going to be playing 80. So I think it's probably more a sit and watch for me with Jermaine McEwen there, but 56 points there, 33 tackles. We know he's an absolute workhorse. 4 missed tackles, 3 tackle breaks there, 1 line break also there for McEwen. Couple runs there, 48 base and power there for McEwen. Dylan Lucas also played 53 points, 41 tackles. So Dylan Lucas, my goodness gracious me, he's going to be good again this year. 4 missed tackles, 2 tackle breaks. 4 runs under 8 meters, 6 runs over 8 meters there, 1 error, 55 base and power for Dylan Lucas in the limited minutes he played. Bradman Best, 41 points, and he had, what do you have? Was that, just trying to go across. He had 31 base and power, Bradman Best there. Vince Crossland, not really sure of his role, but he scored 41. Dylan Brown, 26 points there, 23 tackles. from 26, and he was playing an attacking role. Honestly, he was pretty disappointing with the ball. I think he had a few errors as well. Along with Sanders Smith, yeah, he had 2 errors. Him and Sanders Smith, I thought, were pretty blasé in the halves. Considering, I get it, it's the first game together in the halves, but it's just preseason. It's not that important, but it's also not important. You know what I mean? You got to take a little bit of grain of salt from it. 24 in base and power. So just 2 points in attacking stats for Dylan Brown, which is pretty bloody ordinary. He also had a forced dropout in there as well. Really didn't run the ball too much. I think he had 2 runs of the ball, which is pretty disappointing from Dylan Brown. Sanders Smith also scored 26 from 25 tackles as well. These two together were pretty bloody ordinary. I thought he had 3 errors, 32 base and power. Sanders Smith starts at 7. It's not the worst option, but you're kind of counting on him not having more attack. You got to have him more attacking stats than what he is there. He's priced at a 50 average. You want him having more attacking stats than what he did in that game there. Going down the list, Viliami Kikau, holy dooly, 89 points, 1 try, 1 assist, 12 tackles, 1 missed tackle, 6 tackle breaks there, 2 offloads, 1 line break assist, 13 runs under 8 meters. He had 44 base and power. I owned Viliami Kikau at the end of last year, and he was absolutely unreal. I thought he absolutely turned it on for me, and I thought he was really good to own. Kind of goes like not underrated, but sort of what's the word I'm looking for? The like a lot of people aren't really talking about him because there seems to be other sort of premium options at 2RF. But we'll say I'll get to him in a moment. But him and Jacob Preston are looking unbelievable this year. The doggies really proved who they are in this game, despite it just being a trial. And I'll talk about it now. Jacob Preston, 46 points. I think he just played the first half as well. And that was pretty much all in base and power. Yep, it was. 25 tackles. He had 1 missed tackle in there. 2 tackle breaks in there. 8 runs under 8 meters. 2 runs over 8 meters there. 46 in base and power, as I spoke about, in 1 half of footy. I think he played 50 minutes maybe. Very, very solid from Jacob Preston. Lockie Galvin, 38 points there. He looked pretty bloody good as well. 25 tackles, 7 missed tackles, which is a tiny bit concerning. 4 tackle breaks, looked pretty eager with the ball there. 5 runs under 8 meters, 2 runs over 8 meters, 38 in base and power there. So equivalent to what he scored. Critter, Stephen Crichton, 34 points, playing left center and goal kicking as well. Didn't do too bad, honestly. Despite he made 8 tackles there, he had 18 in base and power, which I find interesting there. We'll talk briefly about Matt Burnett. Obviously, got the hamstring injury. I'll be looking to avoid him. He got 32 with a try. Obviously, played 25 minutes or so. So not really relevant now to start the season. Just looking at these other options there. Obviously, Connor Tracy didn't really do a whole lot in there. All right, and the last game of the preview, or not the preview, the review, sorry, for week 2, and that is going to be South and Dragons. And what I will say, the Dragons were pretty bloody pissed off. They started pretty much a full strength team a lot of this game, and they were so blasé. Their effort was weak. And South had a reserve grade team, like the reserve grade team playing this one as well. And South absolutely took it to them. I thought Dragons were low in effort. I thought they were sloppy. I get it's just preseason trial. It doesn't matter a whole lot, but it's not nothing. You thought the last hit out before Vegas that they would show a bit more than what they did. And I was pretty bloody disappointed. Main star of the show, though, I thought was apart from Damien Cook scoring 79, it's going to be Luciano Leilua. He is looking fit as a fiddle. Thought he was one of the absolute standouts for the Dragons last night. Scored 1 try, 78 points in there, 24 tackles, 1 missed tackle, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 8 runs under 8 meters, 4 runs over 8 meters, 1 penalty conceded, 63 in base and power. He looked unbelievable. I thought 43 just in base itself. He's obviously priced at a 42 average there as well, going from last year and what he did in like sort of bit limited minutes. He's looking pretty bloody fit this year. And now I think you've got a sort of an injury potentially to Harm Sally there as well. So does Litriano Leilua get upgraded minutes? We'll have to find out, but he's looking pretty bloody good as a little cheeky pod option. Setu 2, 61 points. He's looking unreal, man. The Dragons got a good buy here. 1 try contribution there, but he looked confident with the ball. 4 tackles, 1 missed tackle, 7 tackle breaks, 3 offloads in there as well. 1 line break assist, 9 runs under 8 meters, 8 runs over 8 meters, 3 errors, but I'm fine with the errors if they're good errors, I guess, like good errors, if that makes sense. 55 in base and power, 29 in base. That is someone I want as a cheapie in my team. He's getting just 29 in base. He's going to be making cash no matter what. 61 even without a try or a try assist is pretty bloody good going, and without a line break in there as well. Daniel Atkinson, 56 points. I thought he looked pretty confident with the ball running in hand. It's pretty disappointing second half, though. Did have a try assist in there, the first try to Gutho. 21 tackles in there as well. 1 missed tackle, 2 tackle breaks, 1 forced dropout, 1 offload, 1 line break, 1 run under 8 meters, 4 runs over 8 meters, 3 errors, 26 in base, 34 in base and power for a total of 56. Again, he's based off literally like a 23-point average. So if you are looking for a cheapie, does potentially look like he's going to be a pretty good option there. What I will say about Atkinson, though, is I think the Dragons are going to be pretty bad this season. And I get it, he's a cheapie. He's probably going to make a little bit of cash. However, how keen on you are having a cheapie half in your team for a team that's probably not going to be anywhere close to making top 8, in my opinion? I get it. It's the start of the season. Maybe you look at him as like a cheapie option. I would be looking at Ethan Sanders. I get it. We haven't seen him yet, but he's going to be on the left edge now next to Hudson Young. And I think that screams like a green flag for me. A guy next to Hudson Young, who is one of the best edges in the comp, screams try assist to me. Absolutely screams try assist. Here we got Ryan Catchman, 56 points, handy little cheapie option, although I don't know how his role is going to be like with the Dragons this year in their starting 19. Hamish Stewart, 50 points. I think he'll be close to getting that lock roll. 39 tackles in there as well. Had a few runs in there too, all pretty much in base there. 52 in base and power. Did concede a penalty. I think that's why his points went down from 52 base and power. Final was 50. Who else have we got? David Farley. I think that Setu 2 after that performance will probably get the starting wing spot over Farley, but he got 44 in that game. Clint Gutho with a try got 39 points in there. Not a great showing from Gutho, really. Who else has he got on this list here? Tui Palotu, again, I don't know how many minutes he played, just scored the 21 points there, all in base and power, so I guess 21 in base. Halangahu, 18. Who else have we got on this list? Matt Duffy, 90 points. That is freaking wild. I'm not going to really mention anyone from South because Jamie Humphries, 27 points. He won't be playing the first couple of games because he's suspended. No one really... Yeah, they pretty much played a full reserve grade team, so no one really on that list. 33 from Lockie Hubner, 33 from Mamazolos. Not too bad. But there's a few sort of standouts that we saw from the trial weekend. I would put my couple at Litriano Leilua. Setu 2 I thought was quite good. Daniel Atkinson, that can't go unnoticed. I thought Greg Marzi scoring 66. Not sure how that's going to look in Vegas there. Dylan Lucas was solid. McEwen was solid as well. Makasini was probably the standout of the week, scoring 113. Not too much really to take from that Warriors and Manly game. Take the Cowboys game with a grain of salt. All the starters played in the first half there. I get it. You can say Drinky scored 112, but it was against a literally reserve grade team there. In the Raiders game, who was a standout? Jack Hetherington, I thought. Lasati, obviously a start as well. In the Dolphins game, I'm going to say Tom Flegler was a start as well in that game there. Tom Gilbert potentially as well. So there's definitely a few options you can look at and you can take from the trials that we saw in the weekend. I actually forgot to mention from that first one, completely overlooked his name, but Firemani, the cheapie winger as well from the Gold Coast, scored 31 in that game. He had 8 tackles, he had 3 tackle breaks, 7 runs under 8 meters, 5 runs over 8 meters, 1 error, 27 in base, 33 in base and power. So not too all bad from a Titans winger who will probably be scoring points this year. I think the Titans will score some points, so Not all bad. Apologies, I didn't mention Faya Mani there. Another cheapie option there that we're looking in the CTW. So the cheapie CTWs that we're looking at this year is mainly Fire Money, Makasini. Tom Chester is probably going to be starting right center in Vegas, but Laybutt will be back by round 3, so it's an interesting option. And then Setu 2 there as well. 3 CTWs who are looking pretty good, I think, as cheapies this season. But that'll do it for me, guys. There's your little special edition of the trade room. I actually might try and do this every week as like a Supercoach review. I've been tossing and turning whether to do like a round review or do like a Supercoach like round review after the round finishes. I think it's a lot of time for me to do both, just considering I work on Sundays and I also have a full-time job, but I will try my best for you, I guess. But very interesting to look at the trial scores from this weekend. Let me know if there's any standouts that I did miss. Anyone that you're probably not as keen on now, maybe someone you're more keen on now. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching the Trade Room. Make sure you go check out my previous episodes. That'll do it for me, and cheers.